Good afternoon, everyone. Doing a quick audio check. All right, sounding good. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back to another live stream. Yay! I can't wait to get my sound deck so I can get some sound effects going. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. I am Bobby Zen, and today we're gonna do another retro vintage model. We've been working on a typewriter for the past couple weeks, but doing this retro arcade game has been on my brain for a good little while, so we're gonna do that today. So I already have a scene set up here in Blender. I am using this volume here to bake in all of like my lighting and my colors. I'm not sure what I'm going to render this in, whether it'll be Eevee or cycles, but if I do decide to opt for Eevee with this render, depending on if we add an animation or something, this will help with just giving really good, like it just looks so beautiful. So it's really close to cycles without the heaviness that it puts on your computer. So that's what that is. So I just thought I'd start the scene a little bit separate. I also use this default scene when I'm doing my watercolor collection, my models of like different fruits and things. So that's what this is. We're not going to need this platform necessarily, or maybe we will. Maybe we can put it on there, but I thought just a change up of the scene would be fun. I got my light here already. I have my camera already in place. So it's all ready to be rendered out and everything when it's all said and done. So I thought that'd be helpful. Okay, so diving in, we're going to be doing a retro arcade game today. I thought that would be really fun. Let's just check out some of the reference photos that I have here and what's the aesthetic that we're going for. So I love this aesthetic. Like I love the worn, beat up grunge look of this game. So I definitely like the texture of this. So I definitely want to use that as a reference. I have this one up in the top corner more or less for the shape. Another aesthetic that I'm really into, we could also do a 2D and 3D vibe for this. This is more for the breakdown of the pieces of the retro game. These are just some more drawings. And then I do have a bit of like a blueprint here of the different styles of retro games. I didn't realize there were so many different types of arcade games, the way that they look. So we have like a Miss Pac-Man one, which you'll notice like the screen kind of falls in where you're kind of looking into it, and then this one's kind of lifted facing you a lot more. So I guess making that choice kind of matters, but I did like the aesthetic of both. I also loved like the side by side, so we could just kind of duplicate and change up the look of each one to make each one look a little bit different. Looks like somebody did a simple model somewhere. I found these on Pinterest. And this is essentially what it looks like in the shader mode. So I thought that would be helpful. And then we just have a basic blueprint here. So I think we can kind of start with this blueprint, but I do want there to be a bit of a ledge. But I love the, I don't know if it's called like a Joy-Con or what, but the ball with the stick to play. And then down here, I have more of a blueprint of all the different pieces that go into making the arcade game. And then this is kind of how I wanted the, essentially the controller of the game to look. Very simple. And then we have a Sonic one here as well. But it just kind of gives the size of the pieces that you would be putting and where you'd put them. So I tried to get as many reference photos as possible. This is essentially the Joy-Con I was thinking of for our game. So yeah, that's essentially how I like to start a lot of my models. I just need a general idea, and then we kind of just go with the flow of it. So with that all being said, let's get into it. And like I mentioned some streams ago, I like to start from the bottom up. So we're going to do that. We're going to start from the bottom and work our way up. All right, let's get into our scene. I feel like that was a whole spiel. I'm gonna just hide the stage for now. We don't necessarily need it at the moment. So let me go ahead and hide that. And I mean, to be honest, I can hide the volume. I can hide the spotlight. And even the empty with the camera, because we just want a nice clean look. All right, let's do it. I also think I'm gonna jump out of orthographic view. And then over here on the side, we can see it building in real time. So we'll start here. I'm going to Shift S, and I'm just going to put the origin or the cursor to world origin just to be safe. My screencast keys are here if you want to know what I'm doing. And with that all being said, let's get into some modeling. All right, so just starting with the base, I'm just going to do a simple cube, grab on the X. I'm going to tap into edit mode before anything. Just look at it from this view here. And I'm going to scale on the Z. This is just going to be the base of our little game here. Just grab it on a Z, pull that down to the floor. I do have some exact numbers. Some exact measurements. 180, so 61 centimeters across. So if we do a real scale, let's see. Let's do 77 centimeters and see what that looks like. So this is the size of this square here. It's really little, but if we're basing it off of this scale here, then we're it's kind of what we're working with. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just add a few more pieces. Very rarely do I use like a real life scale, so I want to try to. So I'm gonna do the Z at 180 centimeters. And then, so that's how long we'll be. And then we'll do the Y is gonna be 77 centimeters as well. Whoops, sorry, here, the Y. All right, and then same thing, we'll do 61. And this will essentially be just feels a little, it's okay. Let me grab on the X. Actually, let me grab on the Z. And grab on the X and pull it over. Just want to get an idea of what the scale should be. So I'm just gonna, this will be our rough guesstimate of the scale, right? So I'm gonna do that. And I think if anything, I'm gonna X 2. So I'm gonna X, oh boy, S2. Set origin to geometry, and then I'm gonna scale. All right, so I just basically doubled the size of it. For now, we're just gonna do that for now. Okay. I think that's a good general size, I suppose. So let's grab on the Z. Trying not to be like super perfectionist about this, but I'm gonna scale this, or I'm gonna bring this over. Just wanna make sure I get the size right. I'm gonna tab into edit mode, and I'm gonna select just the top, and then I'm gonna grab it on the X and just make it a little bit taller, like that. And then I'm gonna grab this face. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna Boolean anything that I need to Boolean before I start duplicating things. And actually what we can do, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna grab that, I'm gonna Shift D, grab on the Z, let's click P and then separate that as a selection. Then I'm gonna tap in edit mode with just that single piece selected, and I'm going to E on the Z. The Z kind of was already picked. Just gonna go down, tab out, and we can actually hide that piece. That way it matches perfectly. And that's just our tiny little platform. Now I'm selecting this. We're gonna jump out of X-ray mode. I'm gonna use my box tool. I'm gonna cut across. Just go all the way down like that. I'm gonna go inward to about there. Select, I'm gonna grab on the Y, pull it out. Okay, let's go ahead and tab into edit mode. I'm gonna do edge select. Just gonna grab this on the Y, pull that in. Actually, before we do that, let's do a loop cut in the center like that. And then I'm gonna grab this edge here. We'll grab this on the Y, pull that in. Actually, I'm gonna do a little something like this. going to scale it so that it okay, and we're going to Boolean that, so that's just going to give that detail that we're looking for. You know what, maybe let's undo that really quickly. I think we need to add one more loop cut. Grab on the Z, we're going to pull it up to about here. And I'm going to grab this one again. Okay. I think that's what we're looking for. I'm going to select all. All right, and then I'm actually, because I'm thinking about what the Boolean is gonna do. So just want to make sure that we don't go too deep in. So I'm just gonna pull this out to about here. Little something like that. And then I'm gonna grab on the X here. Just get you right there. Okay. This is just the blackout phase, so bear with me. We're just starting to block out where everything is going to be going, get everything in position. I'm going to do maybe like a little door situation, a little something like that. Grab on the Y and pull that in. I think we can pull this down a little bit. All right, let's do, just get our screen. So, all right, this is going to be our screen, roughly. And then we're going to need to work on some things here. Just wanting to get the blackout done first. Just trying to think of the best course of action. So Before anything, I'm going to Shift D, just duplicate our machine, just so we'll have backup. And let me tab into edit mode, and I'm going to get to creating the look and see. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want a Boolean or if I just want to model it. So I'm gonna try a couple different things. I think we'll add another loop cut, but let's grab it on the Z. Okay. I just need one more there to hold it, and then something maybe here. This is just trial and error, by the way, so let's just see. I'm trying to think what the best course of action is, so we're just trying. We're trying things. Alright, I'm gonna grab on the Y. I think maybe just this one. Okay. I think this is kind of what we want. And then I'll just delete what I don't need. So for now, let's do that. Cute. And then maybe this face and this face we can get rid of. We'll just get rid of it for now, and we'll refill it. But that's gonna give that. And then I'm gonna do edge select. Pull this one back. I don't know. Oh, I think actually we'll do this. Y. I think we can do like this. And then I can grab this on the Y, and this will still be our screen. Alright, and then let me fill this. I'll do the same here. Should save it. This might be a little wide, but essentially we kind of got the general look there, and then kind of want to do the same up top. So I'm going to grab that on the Z, pull it just above like the television. I'm going to add one more loop cut, like here, and then I'm going to grab on the Z. I think I'm going to pull it below, right there, and then right back at it, grab this one. I don't know why they're connected. Okay. There we go. Much better. So I'm gonna grab on the Y, pull it out, so it's a bit of a hood. A little something like that. And let's see. I'm gonna leave it a little slanted because it is like that in the game, like in here. It's a little slanted, so I'll leave it. All in all, I think we need to scale on the Y. Not gonna do that just yet though, because I want to do U and U. Then I'll tab in, and then we'll scale on the Y to make it a little skinnier. Like how we expect. Oh wait, it's not everything. All. Okay. I could do everything actually. So let me select everything except that. And then we'll tab in. I'm gonna select everything. Then I'll scale it all on the Y. Just make it a little bit smaller that way. And scale on the X. Okay. And then why don't I control A? Got it. And then I'll control A and apply transforms. And then let's put our origins back. Cool. So now we have kind of the blockouts. We have our little ledge, which feels a little steep. So maybe if I select 2, grab on the Z, nope. And grab it on the Z. I think I kind of like it steep. I just I think I'll do this. Let's do select 3. And I'm just gonna grab it and make this. Ooh, actually. I think I kind of like that. Okay, hold on. So let's grab y'all, pull you out a little bit, and then I'm gonna grab on the Y and come out. Then maybe we can even place some like buttons on here. Is that crazy? Is that insane? Let me see. No, yeah, some have, it's kind of just like one piece though. It's not like, it's either out or in. I'm noticing. But I kind of like a ledge, a little ledge. Does anything have a ledge? Nothing? Okay. I want to be true to what it is. I don't want to do my own, like I don't want to totally make up my own thing. So I won't. Even though I want to. So maybe if I just pull this out a little bit. All right, I'll pull you out just a bit more. And I'll pull you out a bit more. Okay. I'll do that. I'll deal with that. Okay, then put you all in there. It's gonna be my little... Okay. Okay, I think we have enough space here for our pieces. See, this kind of has a bit of a ledge situation. All right, so I'm gonna add a little detail. Something like this. But we're gonna tab in and gonna edge select. All right. So just gonna be a little detail that we add to all right, that's just gonna be a little detail that we add later on. And I mean, this one is giving ledge, so I feel like we can, or is it just the, oh, let me go check on my pup's sweet potato. As a matter of fact, let me just make sure it's not burning. Be right back, guys. Okay, I'm back. Just wanted to make sure we weren't burning the pups' sweet potato that I'm making her for lunch. All right, let's get back into it. Sorry if that's like too loud, if there's too much going on, but okay, so we're back. I'm gonna jump out of edit mode. I don't know if I want to slant or not, and I think that's where I'm kind of, I gotta make a decision on what it is that I want, but I don't think this is what I want. So I'm trying to make that decision. I think I like that. I think I like that. Yeah, and then I'm gonna grab this on the Z and pull this down. Yeah, I think I like, that. And then pull it out even just a little bit more. Right, and then I'm gonna take this. Beautiful. I'm gonna take this and pull it up. And I think that's a shape that I can get down with. Yeah, because I want to put something here. Is that okay? Is it okay to be like that? Maybe we'll leave it like this. I'm not sure. Let me see. Maybe if I grab on the Z. I don't know how much because that's completely at 90. And that's just a little bit slanted. Okay, I think I can get down with that. Cool, cool. Okay, that feels more aligned to what I'm looking for. And then okay, I like that a lot. Let me jump out of edit mode. Let's look over here and see what we got going over here. It's looking like a arcade game or nah. I think we're getting there slowly. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So I think, let me make sure we have the general shape. Let's work on the top a little bit. This is a little sharp and awkward. So let's fix up the top. Okay, cool. So let's grab this edge. And I'm gonna grab on the Y and pull it out. So if anything, we want it to be a bit like that. And then we'll grab this piece and maybe even this piece right here. And I'm gonna just bevel it. Oh, so maybe we just do this piece then. Bevel that. And just get like a flat situation going back here. And then we'll definitely add our bevel modifiers for sure. I think I'm comfortable keeping it straight up and down like this and a little less curved. This one kind of goes in much deeper, but we're doing ours kind of like, I guess we would say this one, right? And then we have, what else can we, as far as shapes go, we got our little ledge, and then we're gonna duplicate these side panels for sure to give it more dimension. But I think our basic shape is about this, right? Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I also don't want to overcomplicate it, so I think that's where my brain is kind of struggling right now, because I want to add all these little nooks and crannies and grooves and things, but it's like maybe it's not necessary. So I'm gonna actually get rid of this little piece here. I'm going to grab this, pull that down, just so we can get it on the ground. And then jumping into X-ray mode, I'm gonna just grab this and pull it down. Because I think at the minimum, I might want this a little bit bigger than our base. All right. That much I do know. Okay. All right, let's do some booleans then, shall we? Let me just see. We're replicating this here. Let me see something. Let me just move this out the way. I'm going to tab into edit mode here. And I'm just going to see if instead of using the boolean, we can just do this. So I'm going to select the whole loop. And then let me grab this. I'm going to put one more loop here. And then I'm going to select this loop here. Just kidding, just that. And then I'm going to pull that in. Wait, just kidding. Kind of what we're looking for here. I think that's fine. It doesn't need to be too much. I think that's cool. All right, so we didn't need to. We didn't need to boolean that. I'm trying to do it the least destructive way, because once you start boolean, things start getting a little tricky. All right, so that's cool. I'm trying to think. I think maybe just a little bit more. And then maybe if we select this and pull it down just a bit, like that could give. Okay, what we're looking for. Now, what I think we can do is start making some panels. So, great. That's going to be a little detail that we're adding. All right, so I think what we're going to do, should we get our screen in there now? Let me go ahead and bevel. So I'm going to go into our modifiers. Oh, hello. I'm gonna do a bevel. Okay. All right, we're running into some slight errors. All right, I need this to maybe be an arc. Okay, let's maybe do, I'm just gonna play with these bevel settings a little bit. Because I don't want it to be as destructive. So, just trying to get the right percentage. So let's see. If you do 0.01, you see we're getting like a tiny bevel, but just gonna add a tiny little bevel until we get it where we want it. But I think actually before we do that, why don't I merge, go to X-ray mode, I'm gonna merge these two. We go to this. Okay, I'm merging these two pieces so that it hopefully helps with the issues that we're having with the bevel. So that looks a little bit better. You can still see like a gentle bevel, not anything super crazy. I'm gonna try amp it up a little bit. I think I'll leave it there at that bevel. That feels fine for now. We can play with it a little bit more if we need to, but just didn't want it super sharp. Still looks a little strange, but, and we can also merge these as well. So M at last, let's see how that looks. I don't even, okay. Yeah, okay. All right, I think I'm gonna leave that like that for now. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select the entire side panel, this entire side panel, including these little pieces, and we're gonna shift D. Those are our panels. Select P by selection, tab out. Let's grab these little guys, tab into edit mode. Let's select all, and then I'm gonna Alt E along normals, and I'm just gonna come on out just enough. Not too thick, but like thick enough. Okay. And then grab okay. Let me select this. I'm gonna make these two separate pieces just for my own purposes, but okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I just want there to be like the smallest little gap, not too much, but I'm gonna just grab on the X and literally just pull it out so small. Grab on the X over here and do the same, just like that. Yeah, I think that looks really good. And then this, let's tab into edit mode for this. I'm gonna select all. I'm just gonna E. Let's go into isolation mode real quick. And what do we want to do? We're gonna, oh, sorry, jump back, and we're gonna go into just our vertices, and then I'm gonna just fill it so it's a square like that, and then Let's fill. Tab on out. Let me E. Just kidding. Don't tab out. Select all. E on the Z. Because this is just going to be a little detail that we're rocking with. Tab on out. Jump back out of isolation mode. Yeah, a little something like that. And maybe I can grab on the Y, pull it so it's not too much. Something like that. Let me tab in real quick. Go to face select. Want this front face right here. And then I'm going to grab this on the Y and pull it right to the edge. We don't want it piercing through, but we definitely want the detail. Maybe a little something like that we can add. I feel like that looks good. And we'll just copy the bevel over. Pretty good. Okay. Now what more do we need? I think the top could stand to be a little bit larger. So I'm gonna just select all the pieces that it would matter. I'm just gonna grab on the Z and pull it up just enough. Let me see what that's hitting on. I think we're good. We don't need to do any more adjusting of that geometry, so that looks solid. All right. Let's make sure our screen is pretty centered. Gonna do a quick measure. Let's just see. It's about the same. I think my right side is a little bit smaller. So I just want to grab this on the X. Even just a little. Okay. Now, how the TV goes in pretty deep. So first things first, what we're gonna want to do is I'm gonna duplicate it because this will be our actual screen. So let's do that, and I'll name you TV screen, and we'll hide you. And then this goes in considerably deep, so I'm just gonna scale on the Y a bunch, and let's go into X-ray mode. I think that's maybe not like so crazy. All right, maybe that's good. I don't know the depth for real, but that feels fair. I'm also gonna use this really quickly. Okay, we're pretty spot on. Just measured it with a ruler. Pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and save it now. And I did save this piece, but now I'm gonna save U3. Just so we have backup. Okay, so I'm gonna select that, then this, Shift Control B, and there goes our little hole for our TV. And then we're gonna put this in the hide collection. And that's that. And there's our hole for the TV part. And then we'll add our TV back. So for our TV screen, let's grab on the Y and let's just get it in. In there. That should be fine. And we'll add like a little, we'll give it a curvature for sure, but that's essentially the TV inside. And then I guess we can start focusing on a few more details, and then we can start adding like the joysticks and things. Yeah, and we're coming along pretty solid. I do say so myself. Just adding a little bit of thickness here. Okay. How thick is that? That's so thick though. I don't know if I wanted it that thick. Let's undo. I'm gonna make it as thick as I want. And then we'll adjust the we'll adjust the boolean and stuff. Or I mean the bevel. Okay. So let me add a bevel. Just a regular bevel. Should be fine. just want a little panel over top. Okay. That's cool, that's cool. Do the same for this one. And then let me Alt-E along the normals. Just get rid of all these. Just like that. And I'm gonna tab. All right, now let's do this and this. Copy the selected. All right, cool, cool. Now we just have some, I don't know, panels. Some extra detail. Some extra details. Let's maybe do one here as well. Pull it out just a bit. Maybe like that much. And then Alt-E along normals. Okay. Little something like that. L, P, selection, tab on out, grab you, tab, all. Let's grab you on the Y. Let's give you a little space. Tab out. And then we're going to copy the same bevel. That should be cool. Let's give it a save. Okay. What did I do? Oh wait. Wait a minute. I think I messed up. I might have to do, where's my TV? I think I deleted the Boolean. Okay. Let's grab the TV again. Where's my hide? Let's bring you back. I'm gonna bring this back really quickly. I think I gotta go maybe here. Oops. I always forget. Is it render? Yeah, I think it's in render. Maybe not render. Hold on. Here we go. All right, we're gonna change it back to textured. And we're gonna try again. What? Oh. Okay. There's my difference. Oh, okay, hold on, let's see. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I think we're good because that's the TV that's kind of that I'm seeing. All right, let's do it again. All right, cool. Let's hide that again. Hide that. That is my TV screen. And while we're here, let me just apply this. Oh my gosh. I'm just applying it so we don't run into that again. And then here, I'm gonna tab into edit mode and I'm just gonna scale it down just a bit. So that it's not, so that it's fitting in there, but not, yeah, we just want a little bit of a space so we can tell that it's actually a TV. Okay. So I think that's cool. Booleans are applied. I'm still deciding what I want to put down here. That's why I'm not necessarily committing to anything. In the meantime, let's go ahead and do some joysticks and things on top. So why don't I start with this and then we'll just figure out where we want to put it on there. But I do want this specifically. Like, I think it's so fun. So I'm gonna shift S and I'm gonna put cursor to selected. Let's see, we're gonna do a cylinder, shall we? And I will just put it smack dab in the middle for now. I'm gonna come up a little. Maybe like that. Perfect. And I'll do maybe also my other buttons. We'll duplicate those. Okay, cool. So now let's go here. And I'm gonna go here as well. And we'll jump into isolation mode. And I want to work on this piece right here. So I'm going to tab in. And we're just going to do some insetting and things like that. So I'm going to scroll in like that. And then let's control B. So I'm going to do a bevel first. Like that. And then what I'll do is I'm going to inset, or you know what, I'm going to grab on the Z, we're going to go down, or how about E on the Z, because that'll just go straight down. So we'll do that. Then I'm going to inset again. And maybe we'll E on the Z, but this time we'll come up. And I'll inset again. Or you know what, before I inset, let me bevel. And this bevel doesn't have to be as extreme. Clicking this. Let me inset. And then I'm going to E on the Z again. We'll go down a little. I'll inset. E on the C. We'll come all the way up. I'm going to bevel. Inset again. Kind of just winging it at this point. I'm going to E on the Z, but this time we'll go up again. Let me bevel. Inset. A whole bunch. And I'm going to E on the Z, come on down. Yeah. I'm going to bevel this. Okay, bevel. The reason I'm beveling at each level is because I find that when I try to bevel it later, it doesn't necessarily get all the edges. So that's where I'm coming from with this here. So now we're starting to get some overlapping, so we're gonna stop right here. I guess we'll go inward. A little like that. And then lastly, I'm gonna bevel this the smallest amount. Maybe like that. What's that look like? It's a little more oval, but it's absolutely so oval. But what we're gonna do, we'll tab, I'll select all, and I'll scale on the X. And we'll just give it a more of a circular vibe. I think I can handle that. And then scale on the Y. So I'll do that. Okay. Okay. It's more oval than I would like, but before I do that, I'm just gonna make my own little cylinder piece here. I just don't want it to not be a cylinder. So we're just gonna add this. So grab on the Y. Because it's already slanted, that's the only thing that I can see being like an issue. But it's okay. We got this. I'm not gonna lie, I might redo that because the fact that it's kind of oval is stressing me out. But I don't know, maybe it's fine. Maybe it's just fine. Maybe you can't tell from afar, but you kind of can. It's this. I don't like it. I think I have to do like that and like that and then scale the whole thing. I think that's a little better. Okay. I won't be too nitpicky, I guess. I don't know, I might fix it off camera, but I'm not gonna keep dwelling. Okay, let me tab into edit mode. I'm gonna select this face here, and I'm gonna just put cursor to selected so that when I do my icosphere, ooh, I think I put too many. This is unnecessary. It's just an unnecessarily high poly count for no reason. So we're just gonna do a new one. Okay. Let's do a UV sphere. Tab in, let me scale her down. Cool. Grab on the Z. Scale it a little bit more. All right. We got a little something. Little something something. Alright, how's that? See, that's just way too oval. I'm not dealing with oval. Okay. Definitely think I can decrease the size for sure. But let's just see. How we looking? We're getting there slowly. All right, let's just get the rest of our buttons on there. So what does a game usually have? So we have it's like, how detailed do we want this? You know what I mean? I like this little detail here. That's pretty cool. Because I mean, a lot of games, it's just like the joystick and then some buttons. So I don't want to overcomplicate this because I usually want to put a bazillion things. So I'm just going to try to keep it as simple as I can. Okay. Anywho, let me scale this on the X. Okay. I think that's okay. But I do think these 3 items need to be scaled down. Okay. And then, just from what I know, you would have like one here, and then maybe like all right. There's that. And then I think we would have, nope, I'm just gonna do here. Let's add a cylinder. Scale it down. All right, we're just gonna do some buttons. Some buttons. Let's rotate a little bit on the Y maybe. Well, maybe let's not rotate just yet. Just get these buttons done. I'm gonna scale a little bit more. All right. Okay. And then we're just gonna take this. I don't want it to be too beveled. I think that looks good. Yeah. And then we'll just flatten it just a little bit. Cool. And then from our top-down view, let me grab a Y. Gosh. All right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do an array modifier. And we'll do maybe like 1.3, and we'll do 2 of those. So we'll do something like that maybe. And then we just need to rotate it so that it's on a slant. So we'll do that. I don't love this here. Just gonna move it over just a bit. I'm just gonna add some guess some details. I think I like the idea of like that ball situation. So that's kind of what we're doing here. No, because now it's all squishy squish. But I think I do want like that ball thing that you can like roll. So instead, I'll just add one. So we'll do a UV sphere. Let me tab into edit mode. I'm gonna scale her down. Yeah, exactly. And then we'll just pull it on the Y a little bit, like there. Kind of want it to be like that, and then we'll do a little detail so you can like roll it. That could be a fun detail if we do end up animating this later on. Okay. What else do we need? Maybe like one more button. We'll turn off the array for that. Tab, and then I'm gonna just make this big. Maybe like that. Okay. The other thing that we'll need is like the little details, like it's sitting in something, so it's like a pressable button. So that's one thing. Maybe we don't need 2 joysticks. I don't love the idea of it, so we're gonna get rid of that. Let me look from the top view and see how we can make this better. I'm just gonna duplicate that one. Just make it better. Okay. All right, and then do that. All right, I think I like that for the buttons. I think that looks pretty good and like realistic. I like that. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Just gonna make a panel so that we can have something here. something like that. And I'm gonna copy this. And that's our little panel where we can put, we can figure out what game we're making and then put that graphic up there. All right, now let's focus on down here. Oh, it was actually, I wanted to do this. These little guys. I like this little detail. So let's go here. And a cube. Alright, and then I'm going to just grab on the Y. Okay. Little like that. Duplicate, grab on the X. Let's do that. I like that little detail. Now I'm regretting not making that sink in a lot more. So let's see if that's an option for us still. It might not be any longer, but we'll see. With everything I've done. Oh, it's very much an option. All right, we'll do that. We'll lean you in a bit more. And we'll pull the TV in. A lot more. Do a little something like that. I think I like the lean in a little bit. The lean in is good. That's solid. Cool, cool. No, I think I like this because even pulling the lean in and giving this space is actually good. So I really like that a lot. What else are we talking about? We can boolean, I guess, these pieces. Because these are just going to be graphics as well. All right, let's figure this part down here out, what we want to have going here. I think I like the idea of like 2 panels, to be honest. Like, I'm digging this vibe, but also I think this is really cool. I just don't know what would be coming out, like that that's large. So you can tell this is like an AI generated image. It doesn't all the way make sense. This looks pretty cool. So I think we're kind of coming to a wrap as far as the modeling goes. So I think I'm gonna go with my first mine, and I'm gonna do 2 panels like this. I think I like the way that looks the best. So we're gonna do that. So let me grab on the X, pull it over. You know what? We'll just do a quick array. And we'll go over like that. Not too much, but just enough. And I think we'll just add some details into that. And ultimately, this is what it's gonna look like. Maybe we'll put a little coin slot, because I feel like you do have to pay, right? Don't you pay somehow? All right, I think we're looking good. I'm gonna do a quick coffee refresh and a bathroom run. Be right back. Okay. All right, we are back. We are back. Just had to do a quick coffee refresh. Oh, let me do a water refresh as well. We are back. All right, we're back. We are having a heat wave here in LA, so I'm just trying to make sure I stay hydrated. Got some liquid IV. Honestly, the hot coffee is not helping the hotness of how it is outside, but yeah, I got some liquid IV to really stay hydrated. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the last little portion. Not the last little portion, but we're gonna get all of our booleans in, and then we'll start texturing and adding all the little details. So let's do that. Before we do this array, actually we'll just Shift D. I'm gonna duplicate, grab on the X, and then add a panel. So first we're gonna cut through the panel. So we'll do a difference, and then we're gonna go back into our object. I keep doing this. Okay, so it's in our transforms. Go back to textured. Just gonna hide that for 1 second. Do the same thing. So now we have a bit of a hole. Then we can hide that one, and we'll unhide the panel. Now we have some indentations here. And then we can use, we don't even need these boxes. We could just use this face to add some details in here. But yeah, essentially we just wanted like a nice slit there. We're gonna do the same for these. So I'm not gonna duplicate it because we'll just use the face if we do want to add a detail. So I'm gonna click this, then this. And this is just gonna cut through first the panel. Oh, you know what? It's not gonna cut through anything because it's not big enough. So let me tab into edit mode. I'm gonna select all, grab on the, actually let me tab out really quick. I'm gonna tab out. I'm gonna select all of them. Then I'm gonna tab in, and I'm gonna grab these on the Z, the local Z, so that it does slice through. And my hope is that it slices through everything, so we can just scale on the local Z and just make sure it's large enough to cut through. I think we're good there. Let's just see. Just enough. I think I'm gonna leave it where it is, because that's pretty deep. All right, cool. Now I'm gonna select this, Shift Control B. There's a difference. Then we're gonna go back into our transform, change it from bound back to textured once more. Let's just hide that for 1 second. Do that. And let's hide that. We're gonna unhide this one more time. Shift Control B. Let's do a difference. Go back here. Let's get us back to textured. Hide you one more time. Let's do another difference. And then we'll hide you. And one more time, let's unhide this little guy. our cutter, and this. Let's do a difference, and then bring this back one more time. We'll hide this again, and then hit our difference once more, and then go ahead and hide that. And then let's bring our panel back. So now we have some holes where we can add some detail, which I think really amplifies and makes this look really good. I really like it a lot. I think I'd like to add a bevel to this. Let's see, yeah. It's the smallest of bevels. All right, and then I also want to do this, so we're gonna Shift D, grab on the X, leave that there. Let's do a difference here. Let's bring her back. We'll hide you one more time. And then we'll hide you. Put you right in your little home. Right here. And then I'm just gonna Alt S, I'm going to scale you along your normal so that you're just barely smaller than that. Okay. Yeah, and then I think, you know, that could scroll. You know, they'll usually have that kind of a thing. If I tab into edit mode here, all right, cool. I'm going to jump out, and I think I'm going to apply everything. All right, let's just apply our bevel, and then we'll apply everything else. How's that? And if I tab in, select everything, let me isolate. I just want this situation here, but like, I'm gonna do similar. Because I kind of just want all of these. Let me see something. This geometry is all wonky, so this may not work, but here we go, obsessing. over the tiny details, but I'm just gonna try something real quick. All right, I'm going to Shift D. Oh my gosh, this geometry is so bad. Look at it. And then I'm gonna separate that as a whole selection. And then select all. Kind of just want something like this. All right, now let me come on out, and then I just want like some details. So I know this looks crazy, but it's more or less, yeah, like I need a little home for it to be in. Like that's what I'm wanting. Just like that, yeah. I'm hoping maybe I can like subdivide it and make it look not so, oh my gosh. That looks so funny. But hold on. Maybe if we subdivide. Yes, look at that. We subdivided a little bit. It doesn't look as crazy. It's actually a little unique that it's a little jagged and stuff. We'll leave it. I welcome it. I welcome the imperfection. Okay. It's the smallest of details. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme, but I want it there. All right. I don't want to go super crazy with the detail, even though I do. But I feel that all of these are very simple, and it's more about like the texture on the outside. So I think maybe I'll do like a few screws. I think a few screws would be good. Do like a little okay, and then I'm going to mirror this here. Is that even? I think so. And on the Z, can we do the Z? All right, let me just apply this mirror, and then I'm gonna do another one. Here. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just like a sucker for like tiny little details. I don't know. Just really feels like what we should be doing right now. I'm gonna scale it. Tab all scale. Ooh. Just making it a little smaller. Okay, cool. And take the same a little off up top, but I'm not gonna stress off that too much. You may not even leave those there. Okay, and then I think last things last, maybe we make this also a panel like that, and then I'm gonna grab on the Y just a little bit, P selection, tab out, grab our little guy. I'm gonna get rid of the ones that we maybe don't need. Don't need any of it. Okay, and then I'm gonna tab into edit mode. I'm gonna select everything. And I'm just going to Alt E along the normals. Bring it in. Give us a little thickness. Come on out just a bit. I'm just gonna copy our little bevel. There we go. Now we have a little detail for the screen. Let me tab into edit mode, and I'm just gonna scale it down just a little. Okay. Oh, that's why that looks weird. Because it's not on the thing. Cool, cool. Then we'll tab and we'll fix it like that. Okay. Okay, two more things I want to do, and then I think we can get into texturing. Okay, there's just two things that I want to do before we are done with the blocking out phase. I just want to add one little detail. So I want to grab this on the X and maybe pull it over just a little. On a tab into edit mode, let me jump into isolation mode, and what I'm gonna do with this, I'm gonna go into edge select. I'm gonna click this and this one. I'm gonna control B. Do something like that, and then I'm just gonna get rid of this completely, and maybe even this one too. Or maybe, hold on. Actually, here's what we'll do. We'll do that, and then I'm gonna take this, and I'll just get rid of that. Okay. And then what I'll do here is I'm just gonna add a solidify modifier. Do that. Okay, I'm going to tab out of here. And I just want this to be I just want that to be our little coin holder. And if anything, I think I might need to do, okay. Anywho, so we got that. Move y'all over just a smidge. And then this guy here, all right, I'm just bringing this back, and one more time. I'm gonna do a difference, and then I'm gonna hide this, and bring you back. Okay, cool. Yeah. And lastly, I did kind of need, it's okay. I'm gonna shift D. Grab on the Z. Let's separate you by loose parts, tab, boom. Click you, all, and then I'm gonna scale on the Y. So I just want to put a hole. Tab out of edit mode, and then I'm going to select you, do a difference, let me hide you, bring you back, Okay, cool. Alright, now we have a little hole, and we'll texture it so that it looks darker. Bring you back. Cool, cool. Okay. Oh, wait. I gotta go back. I need it one more time. So open this back up. This one. Let me get my cube back. Tab all S. Tab. Okay. Alright, I think that's cool. That's as deep as it's gonna get. Alright, I think we have an arcade machine. Let me maybe shade smooth these guys. I want to add a subdivide. Yeah. Much better. Smooth that out a little bit. Okay, cool. I like what we got. All right, let's start just working on some colors, shall we? That'll be fun. I actually have, let's see. All right, let's just get the basic shading, and then we can add some details to our model. So let's just go into render mode. All these we can put into our hide collection for now, just in case. If we do need it, we have it. Cool. All right, here we go. Now we can continue the texturing of, I think we gotta go plastic. I think it's definitely gonna be, this is paint. We don't want paint. We want like a glossy plastic, worn. Let's do glossy worn plastic. And I think the colors we're gonna go for are still gonna be similar to my gumball machine. That way we can keep it consistent. So we'll just do the colors. So we'll do base plastic for this. And the color, we're gonna do the blue. Let's lighten it up a whole lot. What if we cut the scale in half? What's that give? Okay. All right, why don't we do, let me go and see what do other people do? Let's just start with the base color. So I think everything, we'll have everything be that color for now. We also want this one as well. Cool. And then we'll do these guys. This is from a previous file. I just kind of used the scene setup, so there are some materials from another file, but let's do, I'm gonna do metal aluminum for a lot of these, and I will do the same for you guys. So let me select you. Maybe even this guy. That. And that. And then we'll select this one. We'll link our materials. I'm gonna just make a glass material for the TV. And one thing that I want to do for the television, I'm going to tab into edit mode. I'm going to select the whole thing. Actually, let me go here so we can see this. But one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subdivide it maybe 10 times, maybe 15. And then I'm going to select one, and maybe I'll just grab these four. I'm going to do O for proportional editing, and I'm going to grab, and I'm going to make this a lot bigger. And I'm just going to grab on the Y. So I'm going to make this, oh my gosh, a whole lot bigger. Because we want there to be like a bulge. Because it's a TV. So it's not completely flat. So let me go straight in the center here. So I'm going to just grab maybe these guys. Okay. And then we'll grab on the Y. And we're going to give that bulge that we're looking for. And that should do it. Okay. looks much better now. Because we got that little bulge. Cute, cute. And then of course, these buttons, let's do basic plastic, but we'll do a new one. And we're gonna make these like a red color. We'll do that. Do something like that maybe. I feel like that should be black, if I'm being honest. So we'll do this one, but we'll make it number 2. And then we'll just go straight black with that. And same with this. Is that kind of crazy? And then this, we'll do this, but we'll make a new one. And maybe for this one, we can go like this soft pink. I don't know. We'll see. All right. This is like the basis. Let me look at it in cycles and see what that gives. So I bet it's gonna be way prettier. And the cool thing is I have some icons that I want to add to the model. So I have a bunch of Bobby Zen icons that I actually can make objects and put them all over this machine. I think now we would just need to come up with like the premise of what kind of game is this? Like this is the absolute basic model of it, but I think it looks solid. I just got to get the coloring down. I don't love that all the buttons are red, so I probably would want to change that. Let's see if we change this to just maybe something else. Switch up the vibes a little bit. Maybe a purple we could do. And then of course we could do like some images here, some images all over. We can put something into the screen. I want to add some text, maybe some instructions on what to play, how to play. Maybe have some graphics of whatever game we decide all around here. But the basic model, and then in here we're going to fill it with some text as well, I think. So if we go back to our layout and just kind of look at some of our references, you'll notice there's like graphics and different things like that. So we might go ahead, like if you look at this Sonic one, you know, you have like Sonic up here, then you have the border and the actual game, and then some more graphics. So we might just need to find some graphics to paste, which could be really fun to work on. And then let's see what else we could potentially make it. Yeah, like see down here, I do want to just add some different things, but I have, see if I could potentially show you. Let me see if I can maybe, we'll open it up in the shader editor. So let me find my icons. So it would be here. Maybe not here. Go into here. I'm trying to think. Oh, it would be in our slot machine. So let's find that one. I try to keep my files pretty organized as I can't find the slot machine. Okay, here we go. Slot machine. So I have these images. So I have some icons that we can use. So we have these guys that we can incorporate. So if we look at these, we can make all of these objects and get them kind of plastered all over. I can also come up with some and have some kind of put across here and across here. So I think that could be a fun part 2 to this model, focusing on getting all the graphics up there and all of the different icons, and just getting a feel for what exactly I want this to look like, and getting the color palette down. So I probably want to start like getting the color palette locked down as well, but staying on brand with my previous models. I do love this teal, so we'll do like a bit of the muted teal, pastel colors and things like that, but I think as far as a blocking out phase and just kind of getting everything modeled, I think we did pretty good today. I really like it. I think it's really fun. I tried to stay pretty on brand with how the other machines look, so I think we did pretty solid. I think we did good. I'm probably gonna save part 2 for texturing and stuff, because I do want to dive a little bit into grunge maps and things like that. So if we can get things looking really textured and worn like this here, I think that could be really fun. We definitely want something playing on the screen, so that could be really fun as well. Yeah, and I think that is a really good place to stop this particular one. And I did say I was going to do like a bit of a catch up on the Blender meetup, but I did post up a video on the channel going over and just taking you through my day when I did the random Blender meetup, but it was absolutely so much fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I randomly just decided to go to this impromptu meetup where the COO of Blender actually put it together. So it was wonderful to meet him. It was wonderful to be able to just connect with other people in the industry and to potentially just see what life as a Blender artist could look like. So that was a really, really fun opportunity. And all the updates are on this channel and in the Discord. So if you're not in the Discord, definitely jump in there. I've been trying to keep us updated on anything that I'm doing, any projects that I'm working on, any work in progress, and just any updates that are going on with the channel. So any updates, check for it in the Discord. Link is in the bio of all of my social medias, including this one here. And I think that's about it, everybody. I am going to get myself something to eat and just wrap up a few other things. But thank you all so much for being here with me today. It was such a fun live. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them in the comment section, of course. Thank you all for being here. We are almost to 300. So exciting. I cannot believe it. And if you haven't already, go ahead and thumbs up this video. It really, really does help tremendously. And I will catch y'all next week around the same time. I'll keep you posted in the Discord of any changes, but should be this time next week. And yeah, if you find something that zens you out, brings you peace, brings you calm, don't forget to make space for it. And I will catch you all in the next one. Bye, everybody.